Right, hello. Today the video is the glow plugs and one of the air intake sensors. Common issue with these Vivaros. So I'm just going to take you through it and then hopefully clear the codes, and then I've got no more issues. Okay, so here we are in the van. We're just going to give it a cold start now, and you'll hear what it sounds like and the warning lights, but here we go. Terrible cold start, and then we've got check anti-pollution system, check injection system, and that just sort of cycles through those. So what I'm going to change today is the glow plugs, and also one of the air intake sensors, and then we'll see. I'll clear the codes and I'll see what we're left with. The first thing that I'm going to change is going to be this sensor here, which is the MAF one, which I think is gone a bit wrong. So the first thing I'm going to do for that is just remove this bottle. I think it just comes right off, super easy. Give us a bit better access down there, or if I put it the other way actually, I'll get in there a bit easier, and then we'll get that one out. Right, hopefully you can see that clearly there. It appears that that there is looks like engine oil to me, or some kind of oil. So maybe one of these pipes here, this one's quite wet, is actually leaking, and it's got on the end of the sensor, and that's probably why it's not working. All right, here's the replacement on the old one. So you can see on the old one, it's quite difficult to see, but the actual sensor looks a bit clogged and a bit terrible. So on the new one, obviously it's brand new, so I'm just going to put that one in, clean it all up, and then hopefully it gets rid of the problem. Right, these are the new glow plugs that I've got from BOSCH. There's the details on them there. I just went on Eurocar Parts and just put in my registration, made sure that the distance of them was correct, and then got the right ones. Right, just make sure when you're doing this job that you use something like this on the glow plugs. I tend to leave it for 20 minutes or so. Sometimes when I've done it on old BMWs before, I leave it overnight and then come back to it in the morning and then try again. But you have to use something like this, and you've got to be super careful with removing these glow plugs, because they are pretty snap happy. They're not the most robust things. They tend to snap on this bolt here, and then this bit, the threaded part, is just left in the cylinder, and that's an expensive fix if you have to then get that sorted out. Right, as you can see with these, they're obviously they sit quite low down on the shoulder, so you need a 10mm sort of deep socket for it, or a deeper socket, and obviously you need like a decent extension. So I'm going to use this one, and that should give me enough length off the ratchet to actually to get in there. But make sure you use an extension. It's just way easier. I'll just show you what it looks like now on the engine mode. So it's quite difficult to see when changing them, but there's these little plastic tabs which you can pull on. I've already pulled one out, and you'd be able to see in the end there, that's what goes on the end of the glow plug. So the other ones that are here, there's one there, there's one there, and there should be one, yeah, I can see it like just behind that sensor I've just replaced, just in there. They're the glow plugs, so they're actually quite hard to access, so I'm going to try my best to get to them. Spray a lot of penetrating fluid on them before I try and pull them out. Right, you can see at least two of the glow plugs there. I'm going to try and get in with some WD-40, which is quite difficult given holding the camera up. Miss. There we go, bit on there. And then on this one over here, try my best as well. Get it right on them threads. And then I'm going to let that sit. I'm going to make a cup of tea, do the other two, and then that should settle in, and then I'll crack them out. But oh, look at that! Got it there. Right, that's with the extension on. Gives me plenty of space to get the glow plug out. And it's worth noting that you really don't need much pressure on this when you twist it off. You've got to go very steadily. I've snapped glow plugs off before in an E46, and it's not something you want to do. It's a hell of a job to get them out if you snap them, and these are not the most accessible, so really careful. Lots of fluid. If it's a bit too tight, maybe drive the car around a bit, or the van, and then come back to it. Spray some more lubricant on it and then just come back to it. Very fragile things. There we go. First one out. There we go. Take that off it. What's great to note on these as well, you can just see it there. It might be quite difficult on the camera, but you can see that the penetrating fluid has made its way down most of the threads. Now, some of that will be from me pulling it out, obviously a very WD-40'd up hole, but for the most part, it just shows that the penetrant fluid does a really good job of actually reaching all the threads. So just make sure you use plenty. Okay, so this is basically the easiest way how to work out which glow plugs are broken and which ones are good. This was the fourth one I took out, and as you can see, it's like mega crusty. I actually used the largest ratchet I have. I almost got my breaker bar out, and that's never a good sign when you're trying to remove these, but you can see how crusty this one is. These are the four old ones, clearly. This is the brand new one. And the easiest way to test these is basically just to use their resistance. So I've got like a simple multimeter here, and they're the sort of plug connections I've used for the black and red. Basically, I just want to read the sort of resistance continuity. It doesn't really matter which way you get these cables round, but basically you flick it to the lowest sort of resistance setting, so 200, so it'll read up to 200 ohms. Now with these glow plugs, they should read or have a reading of under 1, essentially 1 ohm. First thing you want to do with this is just get your two probes and touch them together, and then remember that number, so 0.8, sort of 1, that's basically the resistance running through the ohm meter and the wires. And then on each of these, if you literally just touch the end of one, so touch the end there and then touch the main body, you'll see the resistance reading come up. So 1.4, so minus 0.9, 0.4, so that one's actually good, that glow plug, so I'll keep that one and tidy it up. Okay, so he's good. Put them over there. This one is reading also 1.4, 1.5. So minus the 0.9 is again 0.4. So that one's actually good as well. Okay, third one. Again, reading pretty good, so that'll be under 1 as well, and I can almost guarantee you that this one is going to be the worst one. And we'll see what he's reading. So yeah, 150 ohms on that one there. And basically what that means is when the circuit for the glow plug comes on, when you turn the key, this will just take much longer to glow. So usually when you have difficulty starting in the morning with diesels, it's usually because these don't glow quick enough. They will glow, but they need replacing. So that one's broken, so I won't replace that. And then just to check, obviously check the new one. Clearly it's going to read hopefully a bit lower than that, but yeah, well, yeah, it's under 1, so 0.9, about 1 ohm, so yeah, absolutely fine. So the new ones will go straight back in, and then along with the sensor, shouldn't have any issues with startup. The last stage of putting these on really is just reattaching these cables that go right on the end of the glow plug. Right, 1 out of 10 nervous moment. See if the damn thing starts. Right. I would certainly say that started better. Standard road mode, check anti-pollution. Right, so we've only got check anti-pollution now, so I'll have to work out what that is and then have a look, but that's got rid of one of them at least. I've got a feeling it might be the DPF, but we'll have a look. Okay, so this problem is solved by sorting out the exhaust sort of manifold pressure sensor. Now this is basically the sensor here that I'm tapping. It's got a rubber tube on the back of it that goes to a metal pipe that feeds to the exhaust manifold or the turbo. I don't know which one it is, but it's one of them. So basically you can just unplug it like that. There's a metal clip underneath it where I'm signaling there with my finger. You pull that out and then you can literally just pull the rubber tubing off with a firm grip. And then you can have a look at it and get inside it, and basically this rubber tube here that you can see is just completely blocked, completely voiding the sensor reading, and that is why you get the warning on the dash. Right, so I've got the sensor out, and this is the sensor, and a lot of people say it's the end that usually gets pretty bad. As you can see, I'll just use my around here, it's slightly sort of corroded and pitted, but I've just buzzed it off with a little bit of sandpaper and it looks much better. You can see it is actually not in the best shape. I've also had a tiny drill bit in there just to clear the gunk out, noting that I was a little bit careful just to make sure that I didn't damage it. This is the pipe that connects to this end, and then obviously this end goes on a metal pipe which goes to the exhaust manifold. Now, I can't seem to get anything through here, which to me suggests it's blocked. And as you can see there, I shoved the drill bit in, and it happily is gripped. So I'm just going to clean this out, or push something through it now and just see what comes out of it. Right, so I'm basically going to put the sensor back on, so it just slides in the metal clip there. Obviously you put the rubber end back on the end of the metal pipe. Now what you want to do with a metal pipe is, I got some brake cable from my bike and I pushed it all the way down there, attached the other end to a drill and then spun it around loads. It took about 30-40 minutes to clean out everything in that metal pipe as well, but you've got to make sure the metal pipe isn't blocked. It likes to block up on the corner. And just spray a bit of DPF cleaning fluid or brake cleaner down there, and it's usually all right just to clean it out. But I cleaned the pipe out and then just assembled it all, and it was time to sort of clear the codes and start the engine. Right, so I'm just going to flick my ignition on now and have a little look at the codes, see what codes are left on the reader. That usually takes a couple of seconds. There we go. Right, so it's got 2 codes found. I'll just have a little look at them. Let's go no there, enter, read codes, enter, stored codes. So we've got air intake temperature sensor 2-circuit range. That's the one I think I have changed. And the second one, which it doesn't want to read now, is really annoying. Glow plug heater circuit A. So I've changed both of those. So I will clear both of them and we'll see what comes up with it. Erase code, enter, yes, erase done, press any key to continue. I'll just read codes again. Stored codes, no codes are stored, back, yes. I'll just turn it off, turn it on again. And as you can see there, I've got no codes whatsoever, which is great news. So those two jobs fixed it, a treat. Okay, thanks a lot for watching. So the next video, we've got the single seat installation, so turning it from a double bench to a single, and then in 2 weeks time it's time to collect the furniture. So stay tuned, I've got a lot more to come for you and a lot more how to. So thanks for watching and see you at the next one.